I want to give a huge shout out to Flowers Telling Stewart, Mulatto Preservation. She shared this with me, a textbook, college level textbook, says the title is American Horizons. It says U.S. history in a global context. And she brought to my attention how in this textbook, it specifically lays out a distinction between mulatto and black. Look at some of the text here. Now, this is in reference to black codes, which occurred primarily in the South of the United States of America. They had public edicts and codes that were specifically for black people, black Americans, restricting their movements, etc. Now, the book covered black codes, but they never tell you about mulatto codes. So look at the text here. It says, codes are enforced not just on ex-slaves, but on quote unquote all freed people, free Negroes, and mulattoes. Now, wait a second. Isn't it our detractors? They tell us, well, the world's just going to see you as black. I'm going to raise my biracial children to be black identified because the world's going to see them as black. Why is it that when we look at the history textbook here, it specifically delineates from free Negroes and mulattoes? Well, if mulattoes or biracial people were just seen as black, why don't they include us into the Negro category? Why is there a whole separate classification and label for mulattoes? That's because historically in present time now, we are not perceived as the same. Mulattoes are not the same as black people. And this clearly lays that out in a historical context, effectively creating a new legal designation in Southern law that singled out black people, whereas previously status, free or slave, had been the key distinction among residents. Now, the whole thing here I wanted to share is that the distinction is there historically. And the distinction, they're trying to erase this history so you cannot uncover this distinction because people will lie and gaslight you forever. My job is to help share the history and provide some clarity to the public. But shout out to Flowers for her due diligence for sharing this with me, bringing this to my attention. I greatly appreciate it. What are your guys' thoughts on this?